we can essentially build our own edge applications, but instead of using C and C++, which is the normal required languages to build an ACAP application for access cameras, you can instead use the data agent as a runtime, and you will just create different configuration scripts, Starlark scripts, which is a Python-like language, and shell scripts. So it significantly lowers the threshold for building edge applications that runs completely inside access camera and are completely customizable. And this is what we will use in this project today. So to do this project, I have Cursor open. I'm using Cursor as my IDE, and we're going to use the LLMs so they can do some AI enhanced programming. I find that to be much quicker than program by hand. And what I'm doing in this case is that we want to pre-commission the LLM with some good context about what kind of projects we're working with. And more specifically, we have a bunch of different projects for the FixedIT Data Agent here. And these projects are available on our GitHub. So we have a repository called FixedIT Data Agent examples. So what I have done is just that I have cloned this project. You can either clone it using Git, or you can go to tags and download it as a zip file and then unzip it and open Cursor in that folder. Here are a few different projects that are available for the FixedIT Data Agent. You can read about them here. Among other things, a Hello World project, which is very simple to get started with. But there are also a few more projects that are work in progress that you can find on a pull request. So you can see that there's currently 2 different projects there that are ongoing. So bear in mind that these are not yet merged, which means that they might contain a lot of bugs, they might not be finished, they might not have adequate documentation yet. So yeah, again, that is just to pre-commission our LLM with a set of good context that it can use to understand how the FixedIT Data Agent work and see how we have solved similar issues in other projects. So that makes it a lot more capable of creating projects like this. And the last thing we want to do is that we want to have a instructions file for the application. So we go back to the website for the FixedIT Data Agent, and here you can find a quick start guide and an ACAP application manual. So this is the file we want. This is essentially a specification of how the application works, what environment variables are available, what plugins are available, and so forth. So I'm just going to download this file here, and then I'm just going to add the PDF to this project here, so I have it easily available. And now it's time to get started, so I'm just going to create a new project. I prefer to create a README file directly, because then I can again write some general instructions here about what we are doing, and I can use this for to prime the LLM with some more context about what we are actually doing in this particular project. So let's start with our first configuration file. So here we directly get one example of something we can do. So what we're going to do now is instead replace the outputs.http plugin with outputs.exec and run a shell script that uses curl for the authentication. We need a config input, config output, and of course we need to set the helper files directory. So let's export this, and we have the shell file in this same directory. Exited with exit status 6, so let's So I have an Arctic 9 camera here where I have installed the FixedIT Data Agent version 1.3.0, which is the latest one at this time of writing. So I haven't done anything else here than just installing the application and activating the license. So if I open this now, we get to the default page for it. We can see the logs and we can see the configuration. And here we have some bundled configurations. We're not interested in them right now, so I'm just going to disable them. And we're going to instead upload our config files. So here I have selected the first input configuration file, and then we can select the output configuration file. And we upload both of those, and we enable both of those files. And now we can see here that we get messages directly from the camera